Hello everybody, welcome to Enjoy the Movies, where I, Nam,
and Sarah
put in our 2 cents about movies. And I will now edit the clip in which Sarah introduces the movie into right now.
Hi guys, so I just made Nam watch this crazy movie, more like a chick movie because of the content. We watched Magic Mike. Mostly I watched it and laughed my head off. He more cringed at what was on screen.
Like 80% of the movie, it was okay. And then those 20%,
there were butts involved. Male butts. True story.
That was, yeah. That's all you need to know. Magic Mike is a movie that's loosely based around the life of Channing Tatum. When he was a stripper. So what do you know about this movie? So Channing Tatum played the lead.
Joe Manganiello, Matthew McConaughey. All I remember from the preview was crazy 90s music with male strippers.
I will say this right now, there's a lot of male butts in there. So the only thing that kind of holds you over is that there's a bunch of boobs, but not enough.
Not enough, no.
Not enough. Alright, okay, so brief plot. Alright, so what happened in this movie? So pretty much we're introduced to this character, Magic Mike.
Played by Channing Tatum.
He has this lifestyle where he works construction worker by day.
Yeah.
And then he works as a
male stripper by night.
Wow, that just made him sound like a superhero.
Yes. Super awesome.
So yeah, okay, and his character gets to know this other character whom is played by
Alex Pettyfer.
He's a bum. Well, that's basically who he is, right, at the movie. He basically plays this bum at the beginning of the movie.
Yes.
His character's name is Adam. He's got a sister named Brooke, and the sister works as a medical assistant.
Yeah.
So she just does paperwork for nurses, not a real nurse.
But it's a legitimate job. It's
a real job. She probably supports him, and I don't know, in the movie he's supposed to be like a 19-year-old, right?
I think so. I think that's what they mentioned briefly in the beginning.
Okay, all right.
That's why they call his character the kid.
He's young. He's not even old enough for alcohol. So he gets thrown into this world of male stripping.
Nightlife, women, money, booze, drugs.
Eventually drugs.
All that, yeah.
That's actually a very important point to the story. So the whole movie is a comedy drama, and the comedy stems from it's male dancers that are exotic, if you will. The drama comes in when there's a lot of drama around people's real lives outside of the stripping stuff. You know, basically, there's a real story that's actually wrapping this whole thing. All right, what did you think of the movie?
It was hilarious, to be quite honest with you. Everything from probably the beginning through like 70% of the way was all comedy in that point, and then you get to the complete turning point where the drama really starts to kick up and you see the emotions happen with these characters and everything just around them is
it just
going chaotic.
It just starts falling apart, like,
yeah.
You know, those crazy movies where it's like everything goes to shit, basically. That's pretty much how this movie kind of starts to wrap up towards the end. I actually thought it was pretty good. Favorite characters. Who's your favorite character? I know your favorite character was Joe, right?
Yes,
okay.
Joe Manganiello's character.
What's his name in the...
What's his name
in the movie?
It's Big Dick Richie.
Alright, so one of the other male strippers' names is Big Dick Richie. Was that your favorite character? Because you kept on chanting his name the entire movie.
Because he's gorgeous. Close your ears, honey.
Okay.
The man is amazing.
I heard it all. My favorite character was the DJ, whom was played by Gabriel Iglesias, whom is a comedian. And I recognize him. It's like, oh, I remember him. And he seemed to have lost a lot of weight. Like, he used to make fun of how fat he was in his comedy acts, but he didn't really... Obviously, he's not doing comedy act for this. And then my favorite, I guess, prop was the Piglet.
Aw, yeah, the pig was really cute.
One of the characters in the movie, not one of the male strippers, one of the girls that does drugs or whatever.
Crazy.
She carries around like a little piglet and she feeds it with this little bottle. It's a little ridiculous. I wasn't sure if I wanted to watch this movie, but Sarah borrows movies from the library for us to watch. And sometimes she borrows interesting ones. And this one was obviously a chick flick, basically a girl's wet dream. So I was like, okay, I feel like, first of all, there's a lot of movies where there's objectification of women. So I felt like, I should watch this.
This was perfect.
Just so that I couldn't, be like, oh man, let's watch this movie because there's hot naked chicks in it. Now she owes me one. So hold on. So what actually made you borrow this?
Just from the trailer, I wanted to see it, but I didn't want to go to the theaters. But it's actually it's very entertaining.
First of all, I thought Matthew McConaughey. In my mind, I have to actually say his name correctly because in my mind, I always think, oh, it's Mcconaughey, because if you just put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable, it's really Mcconaughey. But okay, Matt McConaughey, he does a good job. I feel like, I don't know what he did, or how he landed the role, or if he actually really wanted to do this, but it seems like he just fits. Like, he just knows what he's doing. He's basically the ringleader of the male strippers.
Yeah, like the group of them.
He's kind of like their pimp, except they're not whores, they're just strippers. Right?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Because no kissing was allowed.
Quote unquote allowed.
Yeah. But I think he was good as the leader of the group.
He has personality, and
he
really
had personality.
He could play it.
He really did that on the stage.
If I didn't know any better,
of it as well.
I felt like he could have been right at home. No offense. If Matthew McConaughey is watching this, I doubt he ever would. But yeah, I was a little reluctant to watch it, but basically I cut her a deal. So it's like, okay, we watch it and then we film right away, so we have everything fresh in our minds. Yeah. And I figured it'd be hilarious. And here it was. Let's run down some real facts on the movie.
Okay.
All right, so we're just going to look at some stats and see what's going down.
All right. So it says that the estimated budget was $7 million.
That's it? I feel like there's a lot of special effects and a lot of people. Like, I mean...
The stages were not as elaborate, but I feel like props for each act that they had presented in the movie would require a lot in, like, costuming and...
How many big names are there in this? There's obviously
Matthew McConaughey and Channing Tatum would be the two biggest ones.
Okay.
Then you have like TV stars like Matthew Bomer and Joe Mcconaughey.
So okay.
How much would a comedian cost?
I don't know. It depends on how much I guess they were hurting for money, but
maybe.
I mean, who knows? It could have been they just wanted to do the script and maybe they were just willing to do it for less.
Yeah.
Maybe Channing Tatum was willing to do it for cheaper just because he was
it's
loosely based.
That hit home.
Yeah, it was loosely based on his life or something. So
yeah.
Apparently, like the typical crowd that drew this in for the first couple weekends or something was like 73 or something percent, somewhere between 70 and 75% of women. Not totally unexpected. So my question was the other 25%ish, was that like, obviously it was men. Were they willing men? Were they men that women dragged out? Were they gay men? I feel like if you're a straight guy, you probably won't like the majority of this movie. If you just took out all of the male stripping, you could probably... I mean, I think anybody could watch it. Well, anybody who's...
You feel if the profession was different?
I think if it was a different profession...
Yeah.
This
then
movie
it would be
pretty much accessible for everybody, but
other audiences.
I think there's a couple things in the story thematically, like between characters, that has to deal with the whole stripping thing. Like, if it was a different profession, it wouldn't have to... Like between Brooke and Mike, there's this dynamic. We won't really go too in depth because we don't want to spoil anything, but there's this dynamic that kind of... you know how when you discriminate or prejudge based on an occupation or some sort of... what can I use as an example then? Where people prejudge...
Someone's gay or not?
Yeah, but I don't feel like that's...
So then don't use us.
Alright, okay, we're going to just have to cut this out. Alright, forget it.
The film is loosely based on Channing Tatum's experiences as a male exotic dancer before hitting it big as a movie star.
Yeah, I kind of wonder to what extent it overlaps. Like, I'm sure... I almost feel like parts of it that could be true. Like, the way that Adam's character was drawn into the stripping world, that could have actually been a realistic way of getting people in, which we won't spoil.
Kevin Nash, who plays the character of Tarzan, it says here, is a professional wrestler. And in the movie, you can kind of tell just because of...
That he's a wrestler?
The hair, his tall stature...
Okay. Well, see, I can't tell.
He looked it. Like, if you looked at him next to Joe Mcconaughey,
yeah.
Which one do you think is going to start pummeling someone? It's
Oh,
going to be him.
I guess,
it's gonna be...
Okay, so that was Magic Mike for you. Yes, jazz fingers. No, there were no jazz fingers.
No. No.
Oh, wait.
None of those kind of movies.
Oh, one of the things I also wanted to mention on this. As much as I did avert my eyes, sometimes it was too late. Like, it just appeared on screen. Other times I could prepare.
Yeah, you could hear his sound effects. Oh.
Yeah, I was like I was a background track. Like, assless chaps never actually had a real meaning until I saw them on the screen today.
Who were them?
Several of them throughout the movie. Do you know what assless chaps look like?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, she was the one.
Don't you dare say it.
Say what? It's not even on the internet yet.
What are you going to say?
Alright, so let me just say it.
Okay.
She was the one during the movie whom she was watching, and then it's like, do real women act like this? And I'm like, of course real women act like this. If they go to the strip club, they're expecting to act all crazy like this. Is that what you thought?
I mean, I did expect them to be very vivacious, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because these were, you know, some really good-looking men. I don't know. How do they look in actual male strip clubs? Like,
Sarah,
they can't all look like that.
Have you been to a male strip club?
No.
Thank goodness I haven't either. During the stripper shows, it seemed as though they switched it up a lot. Like, it seemed like every day was different acts or whatever. I was thinking to myself, wow, that's highly acrobatic. So I guess these specific exotic male dancers were actually more dancers than strippers.
They could bust a move,
yeah,
for sure. Well, Channing Tatum can dance. As
it turns out, I mean, I feel like you'd have to be, you know, really acrobatic just to do this thing, like,
yeah,
because they're jumping and like backflipping and it's, you know, hanging on ropes and.
Ladies, go see this movie.
All right, straight guys, you probably don't have to watch it unless you really appreciate.
Watch it with your girlfriend and see her reactions to it.
Oh, actually, that's pretty funny. That's definitely a good reason to watch it. No, but if you're a straight guy and you really have no appreciation for like stories and movies, you really don't need to watch this. If you do like story, it's probably worth a watch. It's, you know, if you like the whole aspect about how it relates to somebody's potential real life, or, you know, I feel like a lot of the conversations they have are all pretty realistic throughout the movie. But otherwise, I actually thought this movie was good, barring the cringing. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.
If you don't know, Magic Mike is a movie that's loosely based upon a pound. Alright.
Sorry. Words my boyfriend does not need to hear.
A male stripper. Let's just specify. Oh, okay, so all of the male...
Hold on, I'm choking.
Sure. Are you thinking about something? Joe, go away. Go away, Joe. Alright.
Are you reading properly?
Oh, I don't know. I'm Asian, that's my excuse. I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
Cut now. We can...
Cut. Oh, wait, that wasn't good. Cut.
Right.
Okay.
Alright.
Action.
Do you want me to just get you one of these? Just
No, because it's more fun because I get to do this.
Anyway.
Sorry.
Wake up. No, it's okay.
I've had a lot of wine.
All right.
Because herpes could be involved. Can't have that.
Mouth herpes.
Thrusting those hips into the air.
I could thrust. So, anything else you have to say about this movie? It's probably a good time to wrap up the movie now.
Okay. I think so too.
All right.